Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Bob, Southwest Michigan Sales, LLC. Glad to have you here today. Okay, this video I thought was pretty important for anyone looking to get into reselling or be a small business owner. The discussion of storage of your products. I will admit, I was also one of these people. This here was one of my storage units. This was a 10-foot by 30-foot storage unit. I had this after I closed my retail store from 2014 until I believe it was 2023 is when I finally cleaned it out. So almost 10 years. I will tell you, storage in my area is more economical than other parts of the country. I was paying $100 a month for this 10-foot by 30-foot storage unit. I know there are some areas for this size storage unit can run upwards of $400 to $600. But here in my area, that's what I was paying, was $100. I'm not sure what he's running it for now. It may have went up, I'm not sure. But this is actually at a storage facility that I have known the guy since I have been a kid. So I don't know. I know that he was probably more reasonable than what the large commercial storage unit facilities are. There's not a lot of storage units here. But I had this unit, which is a 10-foot by 30-foot unit. And then I'm going to go down here. I'm going to show you for about 5 years, 6 years roughly. I also had a 10-foot by 15-foot storage unit, which was actually in the same building. And it was right here, guys. Right here is where my 10-foot by 15-foot storage unit was at. So I had two units. The one unit was clear down there where I was just at, and the other unit was right here. Now, I will tell you guys right now that when I was cleaning out my 10-foot by 15-foot storage unit, that I actually went down to Tennessee. I don't know if anyone's ever heard, I'm sure everyone's heard of the US 127 garage or yard sales. I actually went down there to set up and sell a bunch of items. I was down there for about 2 weeks. I had an 18-foot by 30-foot canopy and two 10-foot by 20-foot canopies that it was just myself and my mom. And I set up all the canopies completely by myself. It took me about a day to set that up, and then to set the tables up probably about another quarter to half a day. And I'd say 80% of the nights we slept in my Dodge pickup truck, which I've never showed you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. This is my wheels. It's a 99 Dodge green pickup truck. That puppy took me down to Tennessee actually a few times already. Anyway, I will tell you guys right now, one of the biggest reasons not to take and rent a storage unit. When you are a business owner, you are going to take and flush a lot of your profit and the money that you are making in your business into that storage unit. That is a continual cost for your business. Bad idea. Not only that, but people can break into the storage unit. Now, I will tell you guys, when I was down in Tennessee, guess what happened? When I got back after the 14 days, I'm still extremely salty on this. I had no renter's insurance on the storage unit. They hit me really hard. I had this particular storage unit right here, which I showed you guys already. Somebody broke into my storage unit while I was down in Tennessee, guys, and they stole a bunch of my stuff. If you do rent a storage unit, make sure that you have renter's insurance or some type of insurance on it. I did not. That is honestly my mistake. I should have never made that mistake, but also money was extremely tight at that time. You have to build yourself up and you have to take steps. I'm doing the best that I can, and everybody else needs to do the best that they can. Now, if you are just starting to be a business owner or a reseller, one of the best things that I can honestly give you for advice, start small. Try to put it in a extra bedroom, maybe a spare closet, something along those lines, and keep it small. Try to maybe source small items like paper related goods that take up very little bit of space. Matchbooks, those do sell. Are they high profit items? Most of the times no, but they do sell. Or get high sell-through rate items, so that way you do not have to have this extra cost of paying for a storage unit. A storage unit will drain you in the long run a lot of money, and it'll never help you in many circumstances. Now, I get it. People live in apartments that are small business owners or resellers, and they don't have the room. and you have to have a storage unit. There are circumstances and there are times that you have to have one. but don't make it a long-term scenario like I am guilty of, that I rented this storage unit for about 9 years. That was one of the worst mistakes that I've ever done for my business. Now you ask, why did I rent the storage unit? Well, I've hinted a few times in some of my videos that I had a retail store. I did. I had one for almost 11 years, from 2003 until 2014, in my small hometown in the downtown district. I had to get all of that stuff out of my store. My barn to home at the time had damage to the foundation. We had a really large rainstorm that came through, and I tried to get my insurance to cover it. They wouldn't cover it. They said it was an act of God, and I had no way or no extra funds to take and get that wall fixed. Thankfully, it is now fixed. That was how I was able to get out of the storage unit. I actually made a decision in my life, and I pulled the trigger, and I did what I had to do and got that foundation of that barn fixed. Thank God, finally. But you have to make steps for yourself. You have to figure out, what is that step to get me out of this storage unit, to get me to that next step, to get me to my next success. To be honest with you guys, always keep looking for that next opportunity, honestly, to improve your business. And one thing that you never want to do is rent a storage unit if you absolutely don't have to do it, because it is a drain financially on your business. Not only that, but keep in mind, how much money are you going to spend? How many miles are you going to put on your vehicle running back and forth to that storage unit, getting items in, getting items out? If you can, try to save up some money, $10, $30 a week, whatever you can, to try to take and maybe get a small storage shed where you live. Something to be able to get out of that storage unit. Okay guys, I hope this video has been informational for you, and to show you guys that I've come from humble beginnings, that I am still improving and trying to take and create the best business I can for myself. I have made lots of mistakes during this course. I am trying to teach you guys from my mistakes, and oh boy have I made them, to not make the mistakes that I have made. If you would, I would greatly appreciate it if you would please like, share, subscribe the channel. It would mean the world to me. And until the next time, we'll see you later, and keep flipping, keep thrifting, and peace out guys. Bye.